Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Roleplay Skyrim. We awaken to the sound of rain here in Dead Man's Drink. So, as we get into the Let's Play, there's a few things I wanted to say to those of you who might be new viewers who have not seen other Let's Plays on my channel. As you can tell from the title of this video and playlist, I tend to try to play as a role-playing character, which is to say I make decisions as if I was the character. And out-of-character knowledge does not factor into it when it's possible to do so. The other thing is, I don't speak in character all the time, so I'm not like a strict role player. I will talk to you as if I'm just me, Pem, talking to you sometimes. I'm just giving you an idea of what it is that you can expect going forward. Those of you who have watched my channel before will know that sometimes I'm not the best player at a game. I'm certainly not an optimizer. I'm not a min-maxer. I prefer to just kind of stick to the character and what he or she might do. I also tend to be a little bit slow about things, and I don't mean that in a intelligence way, although that could be true. I mean more so in I take my time. The character builds up slowly. This is probably going to be a pretty long Let's Play. My Skyrim Let's Play, the previous one, was about 100 hours in length. The Oblivion Let's Play was in excess of 100 hours in length when it ended, just so you have an idea of what you're getting into. And I have, as I said before, I've modded this game quite a bit. So really quick, I don't want to bog you guys down, but I'll just get into a few of the mods here before we get started with the session proper. First off, I obviously have all three DLCs for the game installed: Hearthfire, Dawnguard, and Dragonborn. I'm using Bethesda's own HD texture pack. I know that there are nicer texture packs out there, but this is going up on YouTube, and YouTube's compression isn't all that great anyway, so it's not like you guys will be able to see the glorious results of a really fine texture pack anyway. It would probably just slow down my system. So, I haven't gone really fancy with that. Let's talk mods. This is not all the mods that I have installed, but these are the mods that I have a configuration menu for. Adventurers and Travelers, we add a few NPCs to the roads and things, which will help us with our banditry. Border Sense, which tells me when I'm crossing into another hold, which is handy when, as a bandit, if I have, what's the word? Bounties, things like that. Campfire, so we can camp. Pretty straightforward. Convenient Horses. I'm sure most of you guys know who this is, what this is, at least those of you who play on PC. Makes it so that horses are well, they're more convenient. They're more useful for the player character. Deadly Dragons, I don't have this turned on right now, though I might in a little bit. Skyrim Requiem, which is the Overhaul mod that I'm playing with, tends to make the game so difficult that I don't think I'll need this, but I've got it there just in case. Death Alternative. This game, this mod, rather, will set it up so that when your character runs out of hit points, instead of dying, some other event happens. Either they're captured, or they wake up in somebody's house being taken care of. I don't have it on right now, because in the early levels, as I said, Requiem is so hard that I don't want to die every 20 feet in a dungeon and end up getting captured or sent back to somebody's house to recover. But I might turn it on later. Frostfall, of course, which makes weather and exposure an issue, which we've already seen. Guild Starter. This is a mod that I hope to use with our Bandit team, where I'm actually going to start my own guild, and we'll have a headquarters and everything. Hunterborn, which allows you to basically hunt for food and gives you a few more options when you're looting animal carcasses and such. Immersive Citizens changes the AI of the citizens a bit so that they're more natural. AI of the NPCs, I mean, around towns and stuff. Immersive Creatures is a mod that adds a bunch of lore-friendly creatures to Skyrim, both enemies and neutral. So that should help with the, you know, because Skyrim's enemies can get kind of samey, especially in dungeons. So that'll help. Immersive HUD, which I'm sure most of you guys know what this is. It makes it so that elements of the heads-up display are hidden when you don't need them. Inns and Taverns changes the layout of some of the inns and changes the pricing so that it's more expensive, so that you're not just paying 5 septims per night like you are in the vanilla game. Or maybe it's 10, I forget. It's really cheap in the vanilla game. Minty Lightning adds a whole bunch of cool lightning effects to thunderstorms. We'll see that in action, maybe outside. realistic needs and diseases, which of course means that I get hungry, thirsty, tired, and I can catch disease. Reworks how diseases work, adds a bunch of diseases, that kind of thing. Requiem, this is the big one. Makes all kinds of changes to the game. I mean, just tons of changes. Leveling is changed, dungeons, loot, everything. Everything's affected by Requiem. Enemies and their abilities, it's crazy. This is the part that I want you guys to see. So Requiem basically recreates a lot of the attributes that were in Morrowind and Oblivion that don't exist in Skyrim because they reworked how the character build is set up. So, based on my race, my level, and a few other factors, these are generated by Requiem. So as you can see, I have quite a lot of disease resistance. I think it's because I'm Bosmer. I'm not exactly sure why my resistance is so high. But we'll get into that. Poison, magic, fire resistance, frost resistance, shock resistance. That's all determined by a bunch of stats in the background that Requiem uses. And then, of course, any equipment bonuses that you have. Movement speed is 92%. 100% is obviously, like, you know, default, standard. So I'm slowed down a little bit because I'm low level and I've got some weight on me. I'm a little bit noisier than average on account of being low level and having, you know, light armor and stuff on. As I get higher level, there are perks I can choose in Requiem's perk system that will reduce my movement noise. Health regeneration does not exist with Requiem. It is 0, so that's why I have that healing spell in combination with the green pact preventing me from taking potions at the moment. Magic regeneration very slow, stamina regeneration very slow. The total mass is a little over 1. Effective mass a little under that. Equipment weight and effective equipment weight. You guys can see the descriptions down there at the bottom if you want to pause it and take a look. Derived attributes. Magic regeneration rate, I get a 25% bonus due to conditioning. 43% bonus to stamina regeneration rate. So, if you're looking, like, my stamina regeneration rate is 1.8%. 43% of that 1.8% is determined by my actual, like, stamina amount. So the higher your stamina amount gets, the greater your generation rate, I believe. Carry weight, movement speed, hand-to-hand. So this could all change over time if various, you know, character factors change. Simply Knock is a mod that allows me to knock on locked doors, and if somebody's inside, there's a dice roll on whether or not they let me in based on their disposition, my disposition, factions, that kind of thing. Makes it a little bit more interactive, so you're not just waiting around, or you don't have to bust into a house to complete quests and things like that. You have options. SkyUI, of course, everybody knows what SkyUI is. Changes the menus in Skyrim to make them more PC user-friendly. And unread books glow. This will keep me from rereading the same books over and over again. Not that I'm going to sit down and read them, or if I do, I'll actually tell you ahead of time so that you can skip ahead. But for skill books and things like that, I don't have to pick up the same book 100 times. I'll know which books I've read and which ones I haven't by whether or not they're glowing. So that's a quick and dirty introduction to the mods that we're running with here. We'll encounter a few other ones. There's like inconsequential, not inconsequential, sorry. Interesting NPCs is one. There's a few other ones. We'll see them as we go. One other item I wanted to get to really quick. We already went through the skills. I don't know if I've shown you what I actually have on me. So we got this hunting bow from Anji, we got this hunting bow from a bandit. I'm keeping both bows because one of the things that Skyrim Requiem does is it makes it so that particularly harsh attacks from an opponent, if you still have your bow out, like a melee attack from an opponent, if you still have your bow out, there's a chance it will break your bow. So when I've playtested with this mod, I've needed to have a couple of bows on me usually because it's really easy to lose one. Over time, I think as you get better at combat and as your bows get more, you get better and better bows, like stronger bows, the chance of that reduces, I think, eventually reduces down to nothing. So it won't be something we have to have on us all the time, but it's a factor right now. Basic leather, hide, and some fur armor. few potions that come with the alternate start that I started with. As I said, we'll try not to use potions, but I think for when it comes to stamina, there's not really an option. There's no regenerate stamina spell that I know of. Maybe there is, I just haven't seen it yet, but I have to do something, because stamina is incredibly important in Requiem. Obviously it's important in Skyrim, period, when you're combat type character. But it's very important in Requiem. Some food, very modest amount. Bottled water to drink. A few of those we picked up on the road yesterday. A couple of books, including this spell tome that we can sell. And these are our, obviously, readmes for mods. Oh, Amazing Follower Tweaks is another one, hence why I have 2 followers right now. Firewood, this HQ marker is for the guild mod, we'll use that eventually. 8 lockpicks and a torch. And for magic, I don't really care about spells right now. The only thing we have is Healing Aura. These other things are added by mods. Except for that, of course, which we're ignoring right now. So that's not a factor at this moment. But active effects I wanted to show you. Obviously, this is from Realistic Needs and Diseases. The exposure, the hunger, the disease, inebriation, all that stuff. Yeah, Bosmer Blood grants me a strong resistance. Okay, good. Thirst. I'm thirsty, apparently. And well rested. But what I wanted to show you was... When did I get a Blessing of Kinnereth? That must have been something I had from setting up the character and stuff. Like getting the Let's Play ready. Anyway, our character Stilico was born in the month of Evening Star, which in our universe is December. He was born on December 7th. That's his birthday. And so the month of Evening Star corresponds to the astrological sign, the Thief. So, as I did with Anaig when I played that Skyrim Let's Play, she doesn't switch her stone powers when she finds a new stone, and Stilico won't either. He was born with the stone under the sign of the Thief, and he has lived his whole life with the benefits of the sign of the Thief. So, I get a small fortify to sneak, pickpocket, one-handed, and lockpicking. Oh, and archery for being for the month that I was born in. That is everything I wanted to get to you guys about with his character. Let's have a quick bite to eat and something to drink for breakfast. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do. I don't really want to go out in this weather. It sounds like it sucks. Have a bit more, huh? Okay. Thirst has been quenched, and I'm peckish. Goat cheese? Probably shouldn't eat the bread, should I? Cooked beef. I'm full. Bread being a plant product.
Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all on me. Now I
Also, as you may have noticed when I was doing Anji's archery test the other day, yesterday, I don't have the target reticule up, even when I'm doing archery, so that will make things considerably more, more difficult. Alright. What do we got? Oh, ignore that too. What do we got on the journal here? The guild, ignore that. That's the only thing we have. I think what I'm going to try to do here is sell off the book that we have, the few boar and bear pieces we picked up yesterday before we leave town. We haven't actually seen everything here. And we've still got a little bit of gold to spend. Let's see what we might be able to trade for before we head out into this harsh environment. Yes, quite harsh. General Trader. This'll do. Oh, what time of day is it? Oh my god, it's 6 a.m. That's very early. I didn't realize it was that early. Well, should we knock on the door of the Longhouse, for lack of a better term? I don't really know what to call this yet. Yeah, Longhouse, there we go. Let's make some introductions. Actually, I probably don't want to introduce myself to any authority figures, do I? Let's just check it out. You're not an authority figure. Who are you?
I'm the steward here.
Oh, you are an authority figure.
Sidgear and Jarl Dengear before him.
Tell me about your cemetery. Why is it so large?
Many battles have been fought here over the centuries. Graves were dug and monuments built, and the town grew around these. In time, Falkreath came to be known as the Heroes' Graveyard. Many noble jarls and renowned warriors asked to be buried here. Falkreath's reputation has faded somewhat, but the graves remain, reminding us of the one inevitable truth of life.
That it ends. Okay.
May wisdom forever light your path.
I don't want to talk to too many people because I don't want too many people to recognize my face. If it should come to that. Where the hell did Dargo go? Also, this time I'm doing a slightly different thing with the... Ooh. I'd like to get a look at that map, but I don't want to make my acquaintance with the Imperial in there. Doing a slightly different thing with... Ah, there's Dargo. With the volume, with the recording this time. The very first episode, I noticed some compression issues that YouTube was creating. They were not issues that I experienced in recording or processing the video, but for some reason uploading it caused some blurriness, and I didn't like it, especially when I was in motion. So this time I'm doing something different. It will result in the volume being slightly quieter than it would have been otherwise. So, apologies if you find yourself noticing a volume difference between this episode and the last one. Alright, I don't want to spend more time here than I already have. Let's get the hell out of here. Apparently it's too early to do anything else. Nobody else is up and moving yet. Hey gang, Pem here. Listen, we had a little bit of an issue already with the Skyrim recording. The game crashed right outside of the alchemy shop, and when I reloaded it and played it in that play session, the recording took audio from that point on, but it did not take video. So I recorded like a 40-minute session with just audio, no video. When I realized my mistake, I was pissed off, but the game crashed at the end of that 40 minutes. And when I started it back up again, it recorded just fine with video and audio, and I only realized the mistake after that second part was recorded. So what I'm about to show you is footage that I re-recorded, that 40-minute block where there was no video, and then I'm going to revert to the remaining 20 or 30 minutes or so that worked just fine. I'm just telling you this ahead of time so that if you notice discrepancies in loot gained or leveling or anything like that, I'm trying to make this as seamless as possible, but recording Skyrim is not an exact science. The game crashes, recording software doesn't work the way you want it to, and things like this happen. So, apologies for any inconsistencies. Please bear with me, and I hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, so the game crashed. I was just about to say, look, an apothecary. We are still wandering around in the rain. This must be where the guards practice. I wonder... No. I think maybe there might be some arrows here, but I guess they probably take them all in when they're done, don't they? Get through there? I can get through there. Well, sir, we gotta find something to do before the stores open up. Anything I can make? Ah, tanning rack. Now I only need a sharp knife and some animal skins. Okay, so... Ah, I could turn my gear into leather. I don't want to do that. Alright. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do I need for water skins? That'd be handy. 4 lockpicks, roll of paper, 2 tundra cotton, 3 leather strips, 2 leather. Well, tundra cotton will prevent me from making it myself. I'm gonna say, you guys, with the whole green pact thing, I'm going to say that Stilico is not okay with harvesting plant material, but if he finds plant material or potions made of plant material, he's not opposed to using them himself. He just doesn't want to be the dude to actually do the culling, you know? But if he can buy a potion, or he finds potions as loot, he's not opposed to using them. Because Skyrim Requiem is hard enough as it is. Let's go inside where it's dry, and we'll actually wait like 2 hours or so. Requiem's hard enough as it is before we if we're gonna eliminate potions, it's going to be considerably more difficult. Now I'll still use that healing spell when it makes sense. But I'm going to remove my initial limitation on never drinking any potions. That's cuckoo crazy. I am not going to do alchemy, though. I'm just going to avoid it entirely. I know that there are non-plant ingredients, but fuck it. Fuck it. Alright, let's see. Any stores open up? Why that goat is there? Yes, it appears some stores did open up.
Got something for just about everyone in here.
Got hood.
Give a holler if you have any questions.
Hi. I don't want to tell you my name, actually. Ignore my band.
Someone new? Perhaps someone looking for me to mix something up for them?
Ah, Redguard and Skyrim, eh? What brought you here?
Well, my family back in Hammerfell didn't approve of my interest in lethal poisons and death in general, so I left and wandered north. When I found this town, with its huge cemetery, I felt right at home. I opened the shop, and I've never looked back. This is where I belong.
Good to hear someone who is comfortable where they are. Grave concoctions, I assume because of the cemetery?
I know, it's a bit strange. Not exactly a name to bring comfort to the sick and ailing who come to buy a poultice or salve. But what you must understand about Falkreath is that our town is defined, for better or worse, by the large and ancient cemetery here. That's why the inn is called Dead Man's Drink, the farm is called Corpse Light Farm, and so on. I suppose it's sort of a running joke.
Did Dargo just get larger? Did he shrink down when he used the table? That's kind of funny. Let's see what you got for sale. I don't have a ton of gold. I mean, I have a decent amount of gold, but it'll go fast if I'm not careful. That's all this stuff, though. That's actually probably it. Poisons. So Skyrim Requiem redoes a bunch of the potions and poisons and stuff. Redoes magic as well, in addition to all the perks in the level up screen and everything. So there's all kinds of different stuff that we get to check out. Rigidity. That's a huge health potion. Oh no, it's a fortify. Okay, never mind. Got it. And that's just for a faint one? 558. Oof. Okey-doke. Recipes. No. Alright, thank you.
Until next time.
Hello, who are you?
Oh, you scared me. For a second there I thought you were a hired thug.
Well, yes, I was about to say, not a hired thug, I am a regular one.
But you're not here to kill me, right?
No.
I mean, there's people out there who want just that.
Do what I do, kill them. Find these people and apologize. No, never apologize. Finding a place to bury you. That's true, you're in the right town to be murdered. But who is it that wants you dead?
I probably shouldn't say this, but it makes no difference now. It's Maven Blackbriar. Now you know why I'm so scared.
No, sorry, name doesn't ring a bell. Why would she want you dead?
I used to live in Riften and do odd jobs around town. One day I decided to ask Maven's daughter if she needs any help. It turns out she's an alchemist and needs someone to fetch her ingredients. Only the things she asked me to retrieve aren't worth the trouble. Giant's toes, Daedric hearts. How in oblivion am I going to get those?
Does sound challenging. Is that why you're here in the alchemy shop? Looking for ingredients?
Yeah, I thought maybe if I made it up to her somehow, she might forgive me. No, am I kidding? Ingun might not care, but Maven's another story.
You can't just say no?
That's the problem. I'm the one who'd asked her if she needed help. It's not just Ingun either. I have a habit of trying to please everyone, and doing all this work was driving me mad.
Okay. What did you do to free yourself?
I came up with this idea. I couldn't stop asking people for work, but what if they stopped accepting my requests?
What
If I
the
could
hell?
burn that bridge,
I want to be the center of
in such
attention.
a way that Ingun would hate me forever.
And Dargo wants to be...
I
Okay,
was
fine.
tempted to ask her if she needed help.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a great idea. You'd be out of a job, wouldn't you?
Not really. Boley would have given me some work, and maybe the snow shots too. Some people might even like the fact that Ingen hated me. Problem is, Maven isn't one of them.
Maven! What did you do to burn the bridge?
I wrote her a letter, but it still wasn't nasty enough. Then I met this really angry guy, Puck, in Windhelm. I just scribbled down everything he said. All I had to do was change the name.
Puck in Windhelm. And what happened to the letter?
Gave it to a courier about a day ago. It wasn't until she left that I realized my mistake. I've been on pins and needles ever since.
Must have been a nasty letter, huh?
Oh, it was. I didn't even know those words even existed or could be used in that combination. It definitely did what it was supposed to.
I could ask if I could track down the letter, but I don't know that I'm that interested, honestly. I barely know this guy, and I'm out for myself. But it was nice talking to him all the same. Okay, I'm noticing the music is still a little bit loud. Nope, not that. Just down a hair. Okay. Alright, did a little bit of trading there. Let's talk to the blacksmith. We'll talk to the general trader. And maybe we'll head out to the road and try to do some banditry. Hello!
Steel's good, but loyalty's better. Loyal to Dengear first, and the Empire second.
Falkreath seems quiet. Yeah, Falkreath seems quiet.
Only inside the gates. Much of Falkreath Hold is wilderness, and there's plenty of trouble to be had.
I believe that. Okay, what do you got for sale?
Looking to protect yourself? Deal some damage?
Do I have anything you buy? Got my 2 bows. Did I mention already that Skyrim Requiem, one of the things that happens is melee attacks. If you still have your bow out, melee attacks against you can break your bow. So that's why I'm not afraid of holding on to this second bow. Because I might actually need it. I have nothing else to sell, do I? I probably don't want to... Wait, how many arrows do I have? I have no arrows. I want to buy some arrows, my friend. Could buy steel, couldn't I? Maybe just 12. Don't want to carry too many arrows. I feel like that's a little bit game-breaking when you carry like a billion arrows. Now, Requiem does add weight. It shows it as 0, but I think it's like 0.1 or 0.2. So the more arrows that I carry, the more it encumbers me.
See me at my forge if you need arms or armor.
Thanks, Lod, whatever.
I prefer it boiling.
Tyro prefers his blood boiling. General Trader?
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Sure.
Well met. Unlike my brother, I've no dislike of strangers. Met lots of them while I was a Stormcloak.
Stormcloak, huh? Who's your brother?
His name's Bolin. He's the one who works the lumber mill down by the river.
Down by the
If you
river!
meet him, don't expect much in the way of conversation. He ain't one for talking, especially with folk he don't know.
I'll steer clear, then.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Right. Well, I probably have some stuff that I want to buy from this guy, because I have almost nothing. Oh, can I tell you that? And we leveled. We won't do that until nightfall, of course, when we have some starlight. HQ marker, that's for the guild mod. We'll use that eventually. Let's just see what he's got. Hunting knives. Now, for Hunterborn, the mod, if you want to dress, skin, harvest, and butcher, as you see down there under the description, a carcass, you need a hunting knife of some kind. You can find them as loot, or you can buy them rarely from vendors. And they do, what am I trying to say? They do combat damage as well. I think I'll buy the steel one. He's got Orcish arrows of ice. Ooh, explodes. Nah, I'll pass. Backpack. Now, that will be useful. However, I'm guessing I can probably find that as loot. It's a bit expensive. I bet I could find that as loot. And I probably would like a cloak at some point too, but I bet I could find that as loot without too much hassle. Resist fire. Potions of healing, potion of recuperation. God, it's all so expensive. Lyre's Cairn. I don't know what that book is about. And a tent. I mean, this... I'll need to get a tent at some point for sure, or I need to make one myself. Problem is, if I buy this tent right now, I'll only have a tent for myself. I won't have a tent for my companions. But then if I don't buy a tent, I have nothing to sleep outdoors in. I'd have to sleep in the inns all the time, and that gets expensive fast. So, I'm saying let's buy it. I'll have Dargo carry it around because I don't have a horse. Backpack and cloak I'll hope that we find.
Steal anything from my shop and you'll regret it.
Sure, I believe it.
My blood's calm. I prefer it boiling. Fine, let's trade then.
What am I giving you? Oh, I'm giving you that tent. And the firewood. Sure, take the firewood too.
Lead us to our...
Okay, so my encumbrance is 54 of 120. Let's save it.
Lead us to our next task.
And I think we're gonna head out on the road. Got my helmet on. I have my arrows armed.
Still here.
Okay, we're gonna try to find some travelers on the road and see if we can't rob them blind.